あるかもしれない。
One of my favorite tropes in anime and manga is the serious stare that a main protagonist usually has in a serious moment. You know the one that Goku has during the Namek saga, or the one during Bleach, or Naruto, or One Piece. There's a lot of examples of it out there in the anime and manga sphere. And yes, even in JoJo's, we do have it as well. Dark Determination, first appearing in Part 6 Stone Ocean in the very first chapter, it has been a staple since to convey many emotions a protagonist or side character is feeling in any given moment, giving a massive clue to the audience that shit is about to go down. The chapter and or scene is about to get crazy because they have fire in their eyes. But what is Dark Determination? Why is it so different from other scenes of anime protagonists staring down their antagonist in their story? What makes Dark Determination special within JoJo's? In its most popular and well-known showing with Johnny Joestar, Gyro describes Johnny's eyes of that of a killer. Johnny is prepared to throw everything away, even his humanity, in pursuit of his own goals. Even in previous and future showings of Dark Determination, this trend still occurs. Johnny has the eyes of a killer. He is immersed in this pitch black will that is his own determination for his own selfish goals. These eyes insinuate the fact that when anybody gets them, they're on a path seeking to achieve their goal. And nothing, and I mean literally nothing, not even killing another person, will stop them from achieving it. This stare down, this look is so powerful, it even makes characters regress a little bit. Johnny might have some character development throughout Steel Ball Run, but every time he gets these eyes, there's a moment where he just reverts back to his earlier self, where he's just really selfish about his goals, like in the beginning of Steel Ball Run. But after that look disappears, he transforms into something much better. Almost like he has to step backwards so he can step forwards to reach a even greater distance. We see this with Ringo actually too as well, and how he has to enter this killer state in a near life or death scenario within a duel to actually progress in the true man's world. Overall, this is how you would explain Dark Determination at a surface level. However, it's a bit more nuanced and a lot more complicated than that, as there are multiple levels of Dark Determination, and to be totally honest, dark in the front of this word isn't really the right way to really describe what this actually is, because Johnny is not the only person that uses this. A handful of other JoJo characters use it as well, and not in the same way, as their goals and aspirations are much more different between each other. A pretty big example of this, and the first example of Dark Determination, will be Joelene Kujo and her Dark Determination. Her Dark Determination appears in the first chapter of Stone Ocean, where it activates because she wants to protect Hermes from the security guards of the prison. Contrasting the two, you can clearly see there is levels to this. On one side, Joelene is a very selfless character trying to protect another. Her Dark Determination is very protective, while on the other side of that, Johnny's is pretty evil. I'll be honest, losing your humanity in the act of killing somebody is almost teetering on JoJo villain level status. Why that is so important is because none of the JoJo villains have humanity. They have thrown that away for their own personal goals to achieve to something higher. So when Johnny, a main character, is teetering on that edge, it is playing a pretty significant part for their character development and the story in general. That's why I like Dark Determination so much. There is a variety here. It's either protecting people, or you're just straight up almost borderline evil, or just straight up evil in some examples. Now, to backtrack a little bit, there is another example of a character being selfless while in Dark Determination, and that would be Josuke. All the moments where his eyes light up with that fire, it is always trying to protect Yasuho from something. Whether that be a rock human trying to kill her, or Wonder Review trying to kill her, anytime she is in danger, his eyes light up with that fire, and will be the first one in line to protect her. The way that all of these Dark Determinations overlap is that they are willing to kill for something. Whether that be a more selfless act or a more selfish act, it just depends on the character. As Dark Determination is on a spectrum, ranging from needing to kill to protect somebody to whatever the fuck Kato did. Jesus Christ, man. I'm not gonna start off with that case first. I'm gonna talk about the middle here since I've already talked about the beginning. The characters in the middle are much more gray, while their needs and desires are much more based on revenge and self-growth compared to characters at the beginning and the end of the spectrum. I find them a lot more interesting. Due to them wanting revenge and or character growth with Mamazuku Rai and Gyro Zeppeli, it makes Dark Determination have this factor of what is going to happen. Why do these characters have these motivations? determinations now. It enters this ending path for some and entering path for others. In the case of Rai, his dark determination eventually leads to his death versus Wonder Review. Or in Gyro's case, thanks to him defeating Ringo and killing him, he now enters the true man's world and that pathway through the rest of Steel Ball Run. Dark determination from this angle is actually something that makes characters develop and grow, and end their stories when it's needed, rather than showing how a character wants to protect in that state with Jolene or Josuke. While those are also very important moments, I find the fact that when a character develops from it a lot more interesting. And this is definitely the case for me with Gyro, as after his dark determination, he becomes a much more interesting character, seeing where he's going to go after finding the true man's world. Dark determination at its best is when it shows character growth. It is a tool that Araki uses to show the audience where a character is potentially going to go after dark determination, or even during. But in more extreme cases, it just shows how fucked up a character actually is. And of course, in the true dark determination category would be characters like Weather Report, Johnny Joestar, Ringo Road and Kato. And the reason why these characters are here is just because, well, they're just messed up. All of them either literally kill in this state and are villains, and are teetering on that edge, being Johnny here. When Weather Report got his memory disc back and showed dark determination for the first time, he just started killing people willy-nilly and just wanted to kill his brother and anybody in his way. He's just straight up evil. And of course, in the case of Ringo, his was a bit more complex, as he needed to fight somebody with that killing intent to progress in the true man's world. While it's still kind of fucked up, it still has a bit of meaning behind it, so that's why he's in this category. To be honest, I don't really think I can truly dive into Ringo proper in this video, because his whole thing involves the true man's world, him as a character, and how it affects all of Steel Ball Run, so I just have to briefly go over it. The reason why he needs it is because without that fight between two people at their highest climax will not be able to let him progress further within the true man's world. That's why he needs Johnny and Gyro. And almost in a really weird way, in a symbiotic way, Johnny and Gyro need him. Without dark determination, they will not progress. This is why it's so good and why I've said it previous in this video. Dark determination is a tool to be used to progress these characters. That's why that stare down is so important. Which leads me into a character that I think represents dark determination even better than Johnny does on a writing level, that being Kato. And I know this might be a bit of a hot take, but I genuinely do believe this. While Johnny Joestar is a character with dark determination teetering on that edge of truly becoming bad, but never actually showing great character development and just being an overall amazing character, Kato Higashikata is a person that fully delves into it head first. While being at the end of the spectrum and being one of the darkest characters, she for some reason has all the traits of the whole spectrum. She is protective and wants to care for her son Jobin and see him succeed. How she fits in the gray category is that she wants to do this pretty selfishly, as anybody who gets in her way will have to face her wrath. And the reason why she ends up in the darkest part of the spectrum is because, well, when shit turns sideways, she goes head first in. She goes to prison because of this. She snuffs out the light of a young one's eyes to protect her son and make sure he succeeds in life. She has the protective nature of dark determination, the nature of wanting to develop as a person in the completely wrong way and wants other people to develop around it, and will full send that. She is a perfect example of what dark determination is. I honestly really like Kato. Now, as a person, she's a terrible person, but in terms of dark determination, great. I've already talked about Johnny in the beginning of the video, but I honestly don't think he's the worst here. I actually honestly truly do believe that Kato is worse than him. I honestly think that Ringo is worse than him. I actually think even Weather is worse than him. While Johnny has his moments, I don't think he is the true definition of dark determination, even though he shows it a lot. So that leads into something I want to talk about. I need to get something off my chest here. The catch-all term for dark determination, the title of it, dark determination, is kind of silly for all of these characters. Like I've been saying, I have been presenting this as a spectrum, but I honestly don't think all these characters are dark determined. While all these characters have the singular relating fact that they will kill for a selfless or a selfish goal, once you start comparing them, they really shouldn't be in the same category. For example, Jolene and Kato. Jolene is a character who wants to protect. She is a Joestar. She is loving. She is caring. She represents the Joestar lineage. All Joestars are good people, no matter how you look at it, even Johnny. However, when you look at Kato, she is a terrible human being. Straight up. There's like, even though she's trying to protect her son and making him achieve something in the future, she's a terrible person. Just straight up. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She's just evil. trash human being. So when you put these two characters in the same category, I hope you're seeing my problem here. I genuinely don't believe certain characters should be in this category of dark. I'd more or less see Jolene and Josuke in a protective determination kind of category where they'll kill to protect, but they're not doing it out of malicious or gonna throw away their humanity. There's no way Jolene or Josuke are going to throw away their humanity. It's just not gonna happen. And now characters in the middle, I would consider fiery. They have passion they want to pursue in life, and that makes them determined. So characters like Rai and Gyro, maybe a little bit of Johnny in there too. But of course, the characters that kill and that are literally insane and are villains do definitely belong in the dark category, as they do truly fit what dark means, because dark in Japanese is criminal. These guys are evil. That's what they're supposed to be representing here. So characters at the beginning or that are in the middle really shouldn't be in this category of dark, at least personally coming from me. Overall, my gripes aside, I truly do love Dark Determination for what it is. It shows characters who want to protect and love to truly show that to the other characters and the audience. It sometimes shows how characters are driven for revenge or wanting to change over the course of the story, very slowly of course. And in other cases, just straight up show how messed up a character truly is, as they are evil and truly wanting to lose their humanity for a much different goal than our main characters. This is why I feel like Dark Determination is one of the best things in anime and manga. It's one of the best features, and to be honest, it's one of the best in the medium in general. Due to the fact there's so many different types and so many different flavors and how deep it can actually get, I just love it a lot. I hope I've shown you that it's just not some, yeah, the character's now really angry and gonna kill somebody. It's a lot more meaningful than that, than at the surface level. You gotta look a little bit deeper at your stuff to understand what it's truly happening. Well, with that being said, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, stay hydrated. See you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen.